So, what if I told you that your words could have superpowers? I'm serious. Today, we're going to unlock something called verb moods. They're like special settings for your verbs that make your writing way clearer, a lot stronger, and just a whole lot more interesting. So, let's jump right in. Here's what we're going to cover. First up, we'll figure out what a verb mood even is. Then, we're diving into 4 of these superpowers: indicative, imperative, conditional, and subjunctive. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about why this stuff actually matters for your own writing.
Okay, let's get into it. Before we can start using these awesome superpowers, we got to know what we're dealing with, right? So, what exactly is the mood of a verb? Let's break it down.
You know, the easiest way to think about it is this. The mood of a verb is its attitude. It's kind of like an emoji, but for your sentence. It tells you the feeling behind the words. Is it a fact, a command, a wish, or just something that might happen? The mood tells you everything.
All right, first superpower up, the indicative mood. And here's the thing, you already use this one constantly, probably without even realizing it. Its whole job is just to state facts.
Yeah, think of the indicative mood as being like a news reporter. It just reports the facts, tells you what's up. It doesn't matter if it happened yesterday, is happening right now, or will happen tomorrow. It's just your go-to for saying, hey, this is how it is. So check this out. A king and queen once reigned. See that word reigned. It's not a command. It's not a wish. It's just stating a fact from a story. It's just telling us what happened. That is the indicative mood, plain and simple. Okay, next up, we've got the imperative mood. This superpower is all about being in charge. It's for giving commands.
You can think of this one as the bossy mood. Seriously, anytime you use it, you're telling someone to do something. And here's a cool little trick. The subject, the person you're talking to, is always you. Even if you don't say the word you, it's understood. It's just hiding in there.
And this is a perfect example. Burn every spindle in the land. Whoa! That verb burn is a straight-up order. The king isn't suggesting it, he's commanding it. That's what the imperative mood does. It makes things happen. All right, let's move on to our third superpower. This is the conditional mood, and this one is all about things that might happen. You know, possibilities. I like to call this the what-if mood. It's for stuff that isn't a sure thing, because it depends on something else. And here's a super helpful hint. Keep an eye out for words like would, could, and should. If you spot one of those, chances are you're looking at the conditional mood. Let's look at this sentence. The feast isn't guaranteed, right? The king said he would hold it. That little word would is our big clue. It shows us this is a possibility, not a fact. It might happen, but it's not a done deal. That's the conditional mood doing its job. Okay, time for our last superpower. Now, this one can be a little tricky, but it's really cool. It's called the subjunctive mood, and it's all about wishes, suggestions, and things that aren't real.
This is basically the daydreaming mood. It's for talking about things you wish were true or situations that are totally imaginary. And one of the biggest clues is that it uses some kind of weird grammar sometimes. Like you'd say, if I were a millionaire, not if I was a millionaire. That little switch to were is a classic sign of the subjunctive. So in this example, the fairy says, if I were able to lift the curse. She can't actually do it, right? So she's talking about something that's not real. That's why she uses were instead of was. It's a special code that tells us we're in the world of wishes and what-ifs. So there you have it, 4 amazing writing superpowers. Now, let's put this all together and talk about why knowing this stuff can make such a huge difference in your writing.
This chart is basically your cheat sheet. It breaks it all down nice and simple. Indicative, that's for facts. Imperative, it's bossy, it gives commands. Conditional, that's for possibilities, using words like would, could, should. And subjunctive, that's for wishes, using if and were. The biggest takeaway here is that you get to choose the exact feeling you want your sentence to have just by picking the right mood.
So here's the real deal. Knowing about verb moods, that's what can take your writing from just okay to wow. It's not about memorizing boring grammar rules. It's about having the power to be super clear and to show your reader exactly what you mean in every single sentence you write.
So yeah, don't think of these as just rules. Think of them as your own writing superpowers, because that's what they are. They put you, the writer, in complete control. You get to pick the attitude. You get to tell the story. So go on, get out there and start using your new powers.